Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So let's take a look at the marketplace. Wow. You guys seen the price of Bitcoin today? $2,672.72. That's what we got on CoinMarketCap. If you're headed over to Coinbase to go pick some Bitcoin up because you're afraid of missing out, I wouldn't recommend it. We got $2,786.69. Let me just take a moment to tell you what I'm doing. Personally, I haven't bought any Bitcoin since 1800. And I'm looking for, we had one small correction. It was very short in there. I think it was around the $2,100 mark. I'm looking for a bigger correction. We have been shooting up for quite a while now, and we're looking at 6% one day, 10% the next day, so we're talking a couple $100 every single time. Bitcoin is up there and we haven't seen a correction in a little while, and it is inevitable at this point. So I'd hold on to your dollars and just be sitting there on the sidelines. There's plenty of apps and things you can get out there that will give your phone a jingle or an alert when the price drops to a certain area or hits a certain price. It's always nice to have those things on hand if you own Bitcoin or, investing or doing any kind of trading, to keep you aware of the price, because, Bitcoin is so volatile that it can change anytime at any moment and pretty much for any amount. So let's continue on. We got $88.7 billion for a market cap. So we're still up there. It's pretty high. We're looking at 4.4 billion traded in the last 24 hours. That's a little more than normal. So, and we're looking at the BTC dominance increasing. We got 49.1% BTC dominance. So we're climbing there, and we're looking at a lot of the altcoins being down. Personally, it's kind of more of a situation of, how long has the coin been around? How relevant is it? How close is it in the top, 10? Depending on how much it seems to be down. We got Ethereum coming in at 202, which is pretty good for them. They broke the $200 mark. They're continuing. They got sideways movement. A lot of people were making profit in Ripple, and here we go. They're down 20% today, so people were switching back over to BTC. We got 27.7 cents. We got NEM. They had made it up to the number 4 spot, and they're not sliding backwards, but they took a 10.75% hit today. They're down to 23 cents. People taking profits, coming back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is always king. Bitcoin is where you're going to really want to hold your reserves if you're looking for long-term holding. We got Ethereum Classic. They're one of the few that's continuing to take gains as news is coming out about them being able to continue on forward with stability. We have $20.14. That's a 14.5% increase. We got Litecoin coming in at $23.60. That's good. They're continuing sideways. We got Dash taking a little bit of a slide backwards, about 9.2%, coming in at $139.11. We got Monero. They took a 13.66% hit today, so they're down to $48.62. I personally expected it to be a little more with the controversy that happened yesterday over Fluffy Pony's fake news announcement, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. And we got Zcash. They're down not that much, 4.44%. We're looking at 261.64. So, and then we got Steam. They took a hit today, down 8.5% at $1.23, and Steam back dollars down a little, but still way over a buck at $1.84. That's 11.3% increase, decrease. So what do we got here on BNC? Well, pretty much, the big news is this price and what's going on with it. But let's get a couple things out of the way. First, I got some people asking me about arbitrage and what it is, because over in Japan, India, and South Korea, they're trading at like 20 and 30% premiums. Bitcoin's already over $3,000 over there if you were to compare it to the USD price. Arbitrage is something that's complicated to do. You have to have a way to be able to exit Bitcoin over in that country into their fiat cash and then be able to, transfer it to US dollars. And this is usually the problem. Plus, arbitrage is difficult to do if you don't have a large investment capital behind it. For your average person just working with a few $1,000s, that's fairly new, because those are most of the people that would be asking me about it. It's not something I would recommend. It's something that's very complicated and is probably a little bit beyond your skill level. Once you've been in the crypto space for a while and you're working in other countries or something, then possibly. Personally, I couldn't even perform arbitrage for a profitable sense. I'm going to go with Aaron Andronopoulos's answer on this, and it's not that Bitcoin is worth more over there. It's that their fiat cash is worth less. Due to the restrictions they have on their currency, it's worth less in comparison to Bitcoin, because one Bitcoin is always equal to one Bitcoin. It's just how we perceive it with our fiat dollars, and it's deflating or inflating value, and the problems we have because of know your customer laws passing through borders, some countries having problems with them taking away certain levels of currency. The next bit of news I want to move on to is Fluffy Pony's fake news that he did yesterday. I lost a lot of respect for him in that. I really hate it when people are not serious here in the crypto space, and trolls are a problem, but I'm not one to make a big deal about it. I have trolls too, everybody does who's on YouTube and out there doing something. The fact that he said that there was going to be big news and then there wasn't, and that there was the potential of some market manipulation right before. I sold off my Monero. I was somewhat supporting Monero. They were a fairly decent cryptocurrency that I thought was slightly undervalued for the sense of their privacy. I knew that he wasn't the only person behind the company, because when he was out there and doing the stuff about bashing Dash, I wasn't super cool with that either. But it was like, okay, well, he's not the only person. He's not the face of Monero. But now that it continues and they're still standing behind him and everything, you can see the price of Monero took a dip today because of it. I sold out. I won't buy Monero again. When it comes to cryptocurrency, making money is making money, but you got to have principles in this too. If you don't stand up for the right stuff, you're just setting bad precedents for everybody else and who comes into this space and how the future cryptocurrency goes forward. The difference is that a man should act honorably. And then let's continue forward with news. If you're on YouTube recently, have you seen the Monaco card that they keep commercialing? Like, I can't watch a YouTube video without that commercial popping up now. And it's like 5 minutes long, explaining to you, how you can use the card to cash out your Ethereum. This is good towards getting people who don't know about Bitcoin and, cryptocurrency interested and asking questions. But once again, I always say, we're all working so hard to get the money to switch it over to cryptocurrency. It's even harder to find a way to earn straight cryptocurrency. Cashing it backwards usually seems fairly ridiculous. Unless you're just doing it in small portions because you've made so much profit, which we have right now at this point. So I don't know. It's growing. You're seeing more and more cryptocurrency on all of the public news. With these kinds of price increases, it's getting out of control, and everybody's turning an eye to it and wanting to throw money into it and seeing if they can make profits. And there probably still is going to be profits to be made out here in this cryptocurrency market, and this stuff is going to continue to keep going. I just, I wish that people were doing a lot more research and really understanding what they were investing in, instead of them just being so afraid of missing out that they're literally just throwing cash at the situation, hoping to multiply it. I've had several letters from people writing me, telling me about how they've invested in this scam and this other scam, and they've lost hundreds and thousands of dollars because of it. And it's just a situation of not really knowing. And the first thing is, if anybody promises you anything in cryptocurrency, they're a bold-faced liar. There is no promises in cryptocurrency whatsoever. And then the last little bit of news I got is we're going to continue to talk about the price of Bitcoin. A couple people actually keep bringing up the Cliff Heim predictions. Well, first off, we're past the $2,500 mark, where he said that we were going to hit and then drop back down $400 or $500 and shoot up to $3,000. But I think that this scale of what he's talking about is, realistic. I think we are going to go up fairly high, possibly the 3,000 or more area. I think that we're probably looking at, we're going to continue to keep climbing with the price of Bitcoin until we get some bad news. A lot of people are new to this space, and they have, this is their first time on the roller coaster for the hype, but they haven't been on the roller coaster for the downswing yet, when there's some sort of bad news or, just all that garbage that comes out about Bitcoin that starts pushing the price down, keeping it down. And it's going to come. You know, it comes in waves with Bitcoin. You know, there's times of good and there's times of bad, and this time of bad will come here eventually, and when it does, the price will drop down, and it could be fairly drastic. But what I'm thinking, and what I've heard from several other people, is that just like me, there's a lot of people out there that aren't buying Bitcoin because of the price being so high and are sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy back in or buy more. So I think that the price of Bitcoin, once it starts dropping, I think there's even more people ready to buy back in on the sidelines. That's going to push the price higher than it's ever been. And I think that the second wave could potentially bring in even more investors, pumping the price higher. I think that we're real bullish for Bitcoin by the end of the year. I think that if we start looking even further into 2018, I think that if we make the right investments now, that we could be looking at situations where we might be able to quit our 9-to-5s, right? Hey, if you like everything you got going on here at Bitcoin and Coffee, I need you to hit that subscribe button. You know, we're over 1,100 followers here. You just hit 700, I think, on Steam It. You know, we're growing. I'm doing everything I can for you guys to keep you guys out of the scams. I'm trying to keep new people informed and up to date. You know, the best way to do that is to hit me up on my email. It's eugeneforest20@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Let's talk about what you got going on and how I can help you figure it out. You know, that's what I'm here for. That's what Bitcoin and Coffee is all about. It's a free service. You know, I'm not out there trying to get rich, but I do got some affiliate links, because helping us out here at Bitcoin and Coffee is how I give you guys better production and how I'm able to devote a little more time here to this situation. You know, and the best way to do that is if you're cloud mining, I got affiliate codes if you're doing it at Genesis or at Hashflare, because those are the two I trust and personally use it myself. I got affiliation codes if you need you a hard wallet. You know, Amazon. You know, the affiliation code's down there. You know, I think I'm up to like 5% right now that I'm receiving, because I've had about 14 people purchase hard wallets. And, you know, there's some donational address. If you feel like just sending me $1 or $2 straight up, hey, that's great. That works for me too. You know, you guys have done a lot for me. If you're not on Steam It, you know, please go on over there, sign up. It's a good place to, you know, you're going to be Facebooking and posting on social media. Why not earn free cryptocurrency while you're doing it? And that'll give you the opportunity to upvote my posts, because, you know, I'm trying to see if I can't make some money over there doing this too. And remember, people, you got to keep your Bitcoin safe. I mean, look what they're worth now. Have a good one.